Hello. So we're getting started. All right. Um, First things first. So I talked a lot this afternoon about restructuring, um, how I'm going to do this in Digger, and I realized later on in the day that I want to change this whole construct. Right now, it's four conditionals, if statements, that are each carrying their own loop. And all of their loops do pretty much the same thing. One of them exits early, which is the manual one. But I realized that a vastly more ergonomic approach would be to have a loop outside of them all and then move them all into dealing with the individual project. That just is so much cleaner. So that's what we're going to do. So let me bring up Digger. Here it is. All right, cool. So I am gonna go ahead and grab this because we're going over all of the project configs. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to split this to the right. Split right. Move that into that one. So then I've got them both. And that's repository owner. And that's also going to make having the repository owner make more sense outside of there. So that's going to make a lot more sense. I think that's just a better way to go about it. And I have this one gets the repository. So I'm going to highlight that and see where the heck that is. Okay, cool. It's up there. Bum, 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 bum. All right. So let's grab this for loop. And let's make sure that they are all the same. They are all the same. Um, okay, and some of these, one of these pulls PR numbers. So I'll move that initialization in a minute. All right. Okay, so I've got project config out here. I'm going to start building out my if statement for if manual, else if drift detection, else if, or sorry, else these other things. Um, and we can start looking at how that is constructed. This is going to be this. I'll scroll down here to grab this one. I'll scroll down here to grab this one. All right. Oh, that is at that level. That is at that level. All right, cool. Okay, so let's look at the structure of that. Probably gonna restructure that a little bit. We're getting environment variable over and over and over I think we do some processing on the environment variable somewhere, if I'm not mistaken. Here we do. And in these, we don't, which is interesting. All right, so I'm going to try to label these a little bit. So in all of these, so if we're not in manual, we're not in drift detection, we're in normal operation, we're doing all this. And in these, we care about PRIDs, and in those, we do not. But it seems down here, we actually convert it to a PR number. I think I made a function for that. Pretty sure I did. We get required and varb. Okay, so we're getting inquire. Okay, so that's that pattern. So let's see here. And those are not required. So we'll make a new one. Well, no. Well, what will we do here? What shall we do? What shall we do? Let's see here. This is basically is PR, and that can equal that. We'll coerce the type from that. Then we can do this like so, and do this like so, and then do this is not. Okay. This one is on default branch. That's another type coercion. Okay, so those if statements. So if actually this is not PR. Okay, and then we can make it read a little better. All right. So that is a little cleaner. Down here, we can, so doing strconv, and we're doing find impacted projects, which does what? Find impacted projects, get changed files, pull request service, and then this is, so that's an interface, and then this is Oh, good. It's walking the projects again. Yuck. Okay, so is that the only place that's used? No, it's used down there too. Impacted project message. Get impacted projects as string. It's walking the projects again. Whew. So what are we trying to do here? We have the PR number. So let's do this. Let's get the PR number. So this is grabbing the PR number as an integer. Cool. And then how is it checking? So okay, so down here we're also walking the projects. We're just walking them in a subset. So what we want to do is look at this. So it's getting changed files. This is so the other ones are walking the project configs. This is walking projects, or is it walking the project configs? Let's look at this. Digger config projects versus okay, so that's a project. It's a Digger config project. What's this one? That's the same. There's two different names. Cool. So it's called projects. Then let's look at how it's going about getting the changed files. Um, where's that? Let's use this side. Gitea, find projects, Gitea. Okay. So let's see. Over here, and I don't have a PR service, and I do over in Gitea. So I must be importing it. Where is it coming from? Why do I keep losing where that function is? Oh, because it's over in this. So this has a PR service that's coming in from somewhere. It's at the bottom of this file. PR service is getting passed in. So where's this getting that? Gitea service. Okay. All right. Now, Hmm. How does it tell if the project is include? So what I can actually do is for each change file. All right. So this I can extract. Uh, it's modified project equals that. Then I can take all of this and Command Option M, extract a function, well, method. Cool. Now I can use that on the changed file. Actually, I'm going to move the for loop into here. Turn false. It's reformatting my code. Okay. Let's turn this into a return. Okay. And we will change that from that to that. And we will pass this, and delete this. All right. Okay, so now that's encapsulated. Now I can use that. Let's see. Find projects in Gitea. Be over here, passing that in Digger config. Okay, that's what I wanted to know. So if Digger config dot is modified project, and I have the project project, and I have the change files. Um, saying? What is it saying here? Okay. There, not equal. No. I don't understand what this is upset about. Count mismatch. Assignment count mismatch. 2, 1. That is so weird. But it is sending back 2. It's sending back a string and an error. I don't know why it's saying that it's not. Very odd. That is weird. String error. Return files. Return nil. Return nil. Return error. Super weird. Super weird. Because that's a var type. Hmm. I don't get why I can't do that. Very odd. Very, very odd. Is it because I'm calling the reference? Yes, it was because I was calling the reference. And that's because of this. Okay, very nice. All right. And I think I know why this is constructed this way is because they want to be able to have the loop the other way. But, yeah, so len impacted projects. So in order to report an exit on that, I'm going to have to keep a count of impacted projects. Var equals 0. Um, does it have incrementers? It does not. So I am adding to it. That's so weird. Why can't I see that out there? I can't access this from outside. What is the scope of this? Hmm. Why would it have gone out of scope there? That's why. That is why. Okay. Now it's happy. All right. And then I can do this and have the correct exit code, but I only want to do that if is PR and impacted projects. And that means that is PR needs to be moved out, which means is not PR needs to be moved out to be up here. Cool. All right. So that now reports the same way, and we don't loop in there. And then we're now down to here, and we're only dealing with the impacted projects. So we can do this like so. And jobs was created where? Jobs is created up here, and now it needs to be created here. Okay, cool. Now, let's do the next one up. So this one is a little cleaner. This is just going to be this, and this is called project, project, and project, and project, and project. Cool. And this one is like so. And then that's also going to be called project, 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 project. All right. Okay, cool. Excellent. All right. Now let's further separate the concerns a little bit. No, it's fine. All right, cool. So those are all in there. And then let's go up to drift detection. And we'll grab all this. And that will go there. And this will be project, 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 project. Okay. And this one is going to get a little bit different. Because this is manual. And we only want to run this if we're on the correct project. So that's running the job for each one. That's running the job for each one. This one, for some reason, adds all the jobs, which is kind of weird. And then it runs all the jobs. So that means that PR number is going to go down to there. And that means that I'm actually going to move it up all the way up here. PR number var PR number star and equals nil, and then if is PR, then so it's all right, cool. Okay, so PR number will have the correct value, and then I can actually use the PR number here and here because it'll be nil in other cases, which makes things a little cleaner. And I can use it here and here and here. Okay, that is cool. That is cool. All right. Okay, that's cool. Okay. All right, so now under manual, this is now running for all jobs, which is not what we want. So if project dot name equals this project, then we do that. Otherwise, we do nothing. And this can actually be changed to here. All right. So that is a little better encapsulated. And now we have one loop and our if block inside of the loop. So that is relatively clean. The jobs, so this needs to go to being at, so this needs to go to that. And the jobs are getting assigned here. Command B. What are those type? Way over here. Okay. So just need to move this var up here. And that is now working. And then we can delete all of this and all of these weird nested loops all the way down. Okay. Very nice. And what is screwed up here? Project, because that's not a thing. So that needs to become project name. All right. So now we have one loop where we loop over all the projects. In the case of manual, we are now continuing through all of the projects. But what we can do is we can use the impacted projects. If manual, let me think here. So we could just use a continue. Or a break rather, because we're done. That's kind of ugly. I would rather we not do that. Uh, but that's probably the best we're going to do. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, so then we're going to break out of it. I'm going to add a comment. All right, cool. So that is pretty cleanly refactored. I'm fairly comfortable with that. I actually did get on this defer func, I did get a response from the Slack earlier that they um, they're going to look at it in the morning, um, but they do think that this should probably be on main as well. So that's kind of cool. Um, Slick. All right, so this is now refactored cleanly in the main. And then we can go over here and see, let's see, that's in use. That's in use. Let's go to here. This is not in use, so can go away. Okay, so let's close this. Let's close this. Gitea base URL is used where? Find usages. All right, it's used all over the place. Not cool. Okay. So what needs to happen is I'm going to first refactor this to be um, a func, because that's just going to be the easiest way to go about this. And func get the base URL. And I'm going to put it on the Gitea API, and I'm going to make it so that it returns a string. It just returns a string. It doesn't need to return a tuple. Okay, and this will return this. That's the first refactoring. Now I can find Command F, Command R, and I can replace it with that, replace all. I can take this off of here, and that fixes everything. Now I can I can do this lovely pattern and put that in here. And where does the actor come from? Okay. And I don't actually need the actor because I'm not reporting an error. Because if that's not here, then the result equals this, and we return the result. And that's not what it actually equals. I've got to go to the actual Gitea hosted location and see their API and find out what their API base URL is, which is going to probably be easiest to do here. Cool. So it's that. And it is going to be up to the V1. V1. Okay. Get to the base URL. And what's it complaining about here? Unused import. Cool. We'll get rid of that then. Oh. What do you mean unused import? You're using it. Okay. Calm down. All right. Excellent. This is going to also vary a little bit because like I showed before, their auth is variable. So let's look at the docs and let's look at development API usage. Gitea supports these methods of authentication: HTTP basic auth, token in the param string, access token, or authorization token in the HTTP header. Okay. So I'm going to grab all of these. Actually, I have to look at this. So does this HTTP client support basic auth? Um, hmm. It does. Okay, so last request user. looks like it does. Authorization, basic auth. Okay, where's this running? Send username request.url.user and request header. So where's u get set? Okay, on user. Okay, so that's a user info. Got it. Got it. Okay. So let's make a new struct. And let's see here. And I'm purposely changing that to be red so that then when it does a send request, then where's B come from? B is the API that it's on. Okay, cool. All right. Where do these get set though? Find usages. Find usages. Struct initialization. Sweet. All right. So that's going to fuck that up for a minute. But we'll build it out soon. This is going to be Gitea Auth colon equals Auth. And everything will get initialized to nil, and then we'll fill in the ones that we actually want to fill in. So load auth from in barbs. All right. In the meantime, we can, let's see, what do I want? I want like a Go must have an enum. What is the idiomatic way of representing an enum in Go? Oh my lord. This language does not have an enum. Okay. I mean, it kind of does. It's a const. It's like a series of consts. I think we're going to go ahead and make that a string. Type is string, and then it's going to be slash slash one of basic token access token or authorization token. Um, No, we can do this with two booleans. It's going to be cleaner. So let's do is basic auth bool. And then if it's not basic auth, then it is token. And it is going to be either a query string parameter or an HTTP header. So is basic auth is header auth. And if neither of those is true, then header, so auth header is going to be a string. Um, auth parameter is also going to be a string. And then this will be user info from the URL. So let's see, where's this? Command B. Copy reference, go over here. Shit. Copy reference. All right, Command V. Oh no, I want the other kind of reference. I want to copy. What is this package? URL. So URL dot user info. That's the type. This is the so star user info. So that is going to be so what is the docstring comments and go? Okay, so weird format. That's really the format that they want? Hmm. Types, structs. Eh, it's just a regular comment, I guess. It seems to be how Go works, is hidden little features. Rename to auth. All right. So um, uh, is basic, auth is false, and the okay, non-zero length. This one, uh, uh, and that. All right, cool. Now we turn that into things in here. And okay, so that's the authorization header. So we've got to do some stuff. We have to do some stuff. Okay. All right, so if is basic auth, uh, dot auth that is basic auth, then we do stuff in there, which is Rick dot uh, set basic auth to b dot auth dot user info dot username comma b dot auth dot user info dot password. Cannot use it as a type string. What? Oh, dot. Okay. Oh, yucky. All right, fine. We'll make our own construct. I was going to reuse that one. It was going to be so cool. I was super excited about that. But now, because of the way the world works, we're just going to have to do this. All right. Refactoring name, user enter, refactoring name, password enter. Cool. All right, one down, a couple to go. So now, else if it's header auth, b dot auth dot is header auth, then it is one of these, and I'm just going to go check the docs real quick and make sure that I've got that right. bearer. Okay, cool. B.token, B.auth.token. And then else, neither of those is set. So now the URL is gonna need, actually no, request dot it's going to depend on and so it's going to end up being method URL. Let's look at this. Content type is going to always be application JSON. So that means it's got to be a URL query parameter, I think. Yeah, parameter in the URL query string. So that is then going to mean that the request URL has to be modified at the top. So what we shall do is final URL gets used here, and then if it's neither of these, not that, that means that final URL is going to have query parameters trailing it. We should just as a format string. That's just a better way to go. So we'll grab this, grab that, final URL. Whoops, what am I doing? Final URL, question mark, %s equal %s, comma. Let's see, is there base 64 in this thing? In this odd language. Base 64 in Golang. I do think it's funny that every single thing. Hey Viet, how you doing, man? I do think it's funny that every single thing in Golang that you go to Google, you have to Google it as Golang, otherwise you get just some random junk. Let's see here. All right, what we got? We got base 64 encode. So what I need is the encoding library. Cool. Perfect. All right. Encoding. dot base. Yes. Option enter. GitHub encoding. Which one of these do I want? Which one of these is it? Discover packages. Example. Import encoding base64 format. All right. So we'll grab that. Go up to the top. Oh, so it's just encoding base64 is the only one I need because I already have format. Cool. All right. Yeah, I know I'm not using it yet. Calm down. All right. Now it is going to be that and that. Perfect. That gives me the encoded string. So final URL, comma, the token will go there. This will go here. This will go here. All right, cool. Sick. All right. B.auth dot token and B dot auth dot parameter. And that is perfect. All right, so the final URL gets changed in those cases. So auth is done. All right. Diff stat, we're gonna have to look at how that is. This is interesting. I already created said function. What is it talking about? Replace all. Okay, good. Escape. Control Z. Control Z. Okay. What the heck? Why can't you find the definition? It is right there. Oh, because it's on the object. That's why. That is why. Okay. So let's replace all of these. Command R with B dot place all. And it's non-public, so it can't see itself. That's hilarious. Oh, no, it's not. That's not the issue. Okay, there it is. Sick. All right, so now that works. All right, so now we got to flip over here and look at what is diffstat. So going to the API, let's look at the equivalent of, so activity, admin, miscellaneous. Somewhere in here is going to be notification. Those are notification threads, organization. Repository. Repository. Apply a diff. So let's just look for everything's diff. Get a commits diff or patch. What does this one do? Okay, repositories, blah, blah, pull requests, diff stat. Okay. So let's go look up the GitHub API documentation, GitHub REST API. And this is going to be under what? Repositories. Repositories. Pull requests. Okay, so it's probably under pull requests actually. Polls. Is it under diffs? hmm. What is this one? Diff stat. Let's look this up. Of course, that doesn't come up. So let's find it one of these other ways. That's rate limiting. That's on forks. Search. Let's see here. List repositories, get all repositories. This is going to be a sub function of something. So it is on the base URL, the repo workspace. So let's start with workspaces potentially. Organizations. No. All right, so let's look at just grabbing a repository. So contents. So let's see here. This is owner repo contents. So pull requests on the repository is going to be probably what we want to look at. But let's look at pulls. What's this? That's pulls. List pull requests. Let's see. That's also pulls. Get a pull request. Oh, you know what? I'm looking at the wrong docs. I need to look at the Bitbucket API because that's what I based this off of. That makes a lot more sense. All right, so this one is going to be pull requests and somewhere on here will be the diff stat. No. List pull requests. Or at least in the right spot. So workspace, repo slug, pull requests. So get the diff stat for a pull request. All right, what does this return? Okay. Response. Okay. And then what are we using out of it is the more interesting part. So command B. So they built this whole construct for that. And that's to get the list of changed files, potentially? Yes, to get a list of changed files. So this stat.values for V and files is coming from where? Append files equals append files v.old.path. All right. So we're looking for when the path changed. All right, that doesn't seem like a very good way to do it, but whatever. All right, so let's see what we got here. Go to commits diff or patch. What does this return? Author, files, file name, string. So this will show all the files that have been modified. So this is the one that we want. But that's for a diff. Get a pull request diff or patch. Polls. And then what is diff type? Diff type. Diff or patch. The output is a diff or a patch. All right, that's fine. So the diff, so we'll want the diff, and then we will get these back. That's, so this is just returning the entire diff or patch. This one, get commits for a pull request. This will return an array of commits, and then you walk the array of the commits, and you can get the files from the commits. Okay. I think that's going to be the way to go. So what I'm going to do for now is grab the, say, get commits for a pull request. I want to see, where's this little side? Get okay, polls, not repository. Is it under repository? That's where we are? Okay, that's weird. Get a commit diff for patch. Okay, list the hooks in the repository. I don't want that. I don't want that. What I want is to be able to grab that link. Um, so let's search on this side. And if commits, where are you? Okay, it's not this one. It's not this one. Nope. So it commits for a pull request. Copy. Okay, so to do switch over to using this API. No, not that. I want the actual thing that I copied. Command C, Command V. All right, cool. All right, so that's one down. Now let's look at this. This is the, so this is publishing a comment. All right, so comment, get a comment, delete a comment, create a comment, attachments, add a comment to an issue, add a reaction to a comment. Let's create a comment attachment. Okay. No, that's an asset. I want to actually patch, edit, delete, create a comment attachment, get a list of comments attached to the issue, move a reaction, list all comments, add a comment to an issue. This is on issues. Are these all on issues? Yeah, these are all on issues. So pull request. Interesting. Get commits for a pull request, dismiss commits for a pull request, get changed files, merge a pull request, create a review for a pull request, cancel, post, submit a pending review on a pull request, update a pull request. Can I add a comment by updating? I can add labels. I don't know if I can add a comment to it though. Interesting. That's the body of the pull request. Let's look at our local one again. Let's go to pull requests. Let's go to issues. So here, what do I need? I need to go to home and go to this repository and look at pull requests and create a new pull request. First I need a branch. All right, so let's do this. I will create a CD workspace, CD space, scratchpad, make dir test, CD test, get init. Actually, no, I don't want to do that. CD space rf test. So I need to make a new repo. Repositories, new repository, repo, test garbage, make it private, select a template, there are none, readme default, let's say it's Terraform, main branch main, and create. Cool. Now I can clone that locally. And add a file, get status, get add checkout dash b branch, get add dot get commit. All right, cool. Pull requests. Actually, let's look here. Reload. Should be multiple branches. There's that one. All right, cool. That adds that. Excellent. Pull requests. New pull request from branch to main and new pull request. Create. Okay, so You can write comments in the front end. Therefore, you should be able to but those are not on pull requests. So this is interesting. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna have to do some research on that. But basically, so let's take a look at this. So this one needs to publish a comment. Let's see what this one does. That has to edit a comment, which theoretically we know how to do. This is the comment structure. This is get comments. So a lot to do with comments. This is going to be setting the status. So we'll have to look at what setting the status actually means. I want to look at the GitHub one because I'm more familiar with uh, yeah, okay, so yeah, it's all in one file. Event name, pull request, issue comment, push. Okay. What is setting the status for? Under what circumstances do we do this? Failed to get pull request status code. Okay, so it's just pulling a series of status codes. Failure successful in progress. Okay, so it's looking at the status of the PR. It's probably like merged, not merged, etc. Looks like there's a hash on those. All right, then this one is get combined pull request statuses. So this is the statuses of the commits on the repo name for a particular PR. Okay. This one is merging the pull request. This is checking if it's mergeable, checking if it was merged, checking if it is closed, getting the branch name, and finding out the user's teams, which is not implemented yet in the Bitbucket one. All right. Well, one down and a few to figure out. Set statuses. So let's see. Get changed files. I know which one that is. Publish comment, edit comment, set status. Those should all be relatively straightforward once I find what it's called in the API. All right. Cool. I'm gonna call it a night there. Um, thank you for watching, Viet. It's nice to see you joined. I appreciate you, man. And I'm gonna go ahead and sign off, and I will post this recording on YouTube probably tomorrow, because it takes a long time for it to like upload and download and encode and everything else. But the Twitch one should be live shortly after I stop streaming.